All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Stock Analysis Friday for this August 30th, 2024. Hopefully you can see my screen now and the audio is A-OK. If you don't hear anything, let me know, of course. I always tend to be the last one to know if there's a problem, so please let me know right away. All right, good morning to you, Eleanor. How are you? Good to have you here. All right, so the purpose of Stock Analysis Friday is for me to give you an opinion on a stock that you want me to look up. And I use our software tools for that. And, my experience is trading. I've been trading for a little over 30 years now. So basically, I've been doing this a long time. I use price action and I use my software as well. All right, so go ahead and do that. Audio and visual are okay. Good to hear that. All right, thank you, Gene. All right, so let me just go through one quick administrational screen. I'm gonna do things a little different than I normally do. I'm gonna start out with the disclaimer and then jump right into the charts. And then at the end of the video, I'll go over, if you're interested in any books that I've written or any of our software, we can talk about it then. All right, so really quick, I have to start out with the presentation disclaimer. They'll just let you know there's no guarantees in trading the financial markets or investing in them. Past results doesn't, of course, guarantee future results. And remember, these are my opinions based on my experience, my analysis when I take a look at things. So please remember to run that by your financial advisor or whoever manages your money to be sure anything that we recommend here is suitable for you, right? I don't know your personal situation. Of course, they do. And in the markets, we deal in a realm of probability, so you have to use risk control. That's really, really important. All right, I'm going to go over this a little later, okay? So let's go ahead and jump in. Good morning, everybody. As Gene says here, yes, type in your stock picks in all caps, and let's do up to 3. So you can type in 3. You can always come back and type in another 3, but that seems to keep things moving really good. Jim, good morning to you as well, and Stu, good morning. Okay, excellent. All right, and as Gene says, happy Friday to everybody. All right, so I'm just going to quickly go over the Dow Jones and the markets in general. They've, of course, made new highs, not surprising to me, of course, and for those of you that follow me, because we've been saying that another high was due, and we certainly have gotten it. All right, just a quick reference here. You're looking at 3 screens. We've got on the left the 60-minute, the daily, and the weekly, and on the top, we've got our scanners. I'm not going to really talk too much about the scanners because you're going to be giving me the symbols today. But I use 3 charts with our software loaded, and basically that's multiple time frame analysis. So I'm looking at the same stock on 3 different time frames. So it just gives me a better view, overall view of what's happening. So on the Dow, real quick, okay, the reason we were fairly confident that we would make highs and go back into the target zone after this pullback here. We went back up. We were kind of confident on that. And one of the things that helped us is we had a lot of these green PTFs for quite some time. And that's one of our indicators that indicates with a 75% probability if we're going to get more highs. And when it's green, that means yes. And when it's red, it usually indicates we're going to get some lows and certainly a choppy market. All right, so in this case here, they're now all yellow, which means it's neutral. So we're getting up into that territory where we're at a 9-year, not 9-year, we're since 2009, 2009, we've been in a bull run. So now we're at a significant top in the market. And this top of the market is a big move up that we've experienced since 2009. So that was the point I was making with the 2009. So this is a big deal. All right. So the next, after we end this bull market, and it should end in this zone, and the zone is recalculated now around 38,977 up to 50,305. So we could go even higher. All right. But normally we don't go to the top of the zone. Usually it ends either right around now or up to around 44,000, okay, which is basically the halfway mark up there. So we're getting kind of toppy here, folks, and it doesn't mean the market can't go higher, okay? It certainly is trending up. There's no question about it. If you're going to be in it, you want to be long, right? Not short right now. So let's keep an eye on this, and what we'll do is we'll look to see when the market reverses, and we'll keep an eye on that for everybody, okay? So that was just a quick synopsis of the market, and I know a lot of people have been saying we're going to get a major sell-off this summer. Well, summer's coming to a close. We didn't get it. I do think we will get it, but it's probably going to be after the election. I think one more rate increase here in September coming up, and that's going to fuel it a little bit more with euphoria. And then at that point, we slide into the election period, get a little choppiness, and then we'll see how it does after the election. So anyway, it'll be an interesting year nonetheless. I do expect the bear market to emerge, but if the timing's always a little difficult, but I would probably say, let's say after the election sometime, okay? So that's kind of where I'm going to leave that. All right, let's jump in and take a look at what you guys want to look at here. All right, Lowell, how are you today? I think you're the first one. So let's take a look at NOC. Now, we're going to be together for about a half an hour today, so I'm going to move right along. All right, where is NOC? And we're waiting, and there it is. Okay, so NOC, and let me know if you're long, short, or thinking about it, okay? That way it helps me give you the kind of analysis that's going to help you, because if you're already long, the two questions you're going to have is, should I stay long and where should my exit be? So that always helps me. If you're thinking about going long, then of course I'll give you an opinion based on the price action and what the software is telling me at this point. All right, so here we go. All right, NOC has been moving off a bottom really for quite some time, really in this area here. So probably right around, I would say, what is that, May, June, July, it's been moving up pretty good. So what's going to happen with it now? Are we going to make another high? Well, we certainly are going up towards the old high. I'm kind of thinking we got a green PTF here on the daily, so I think it's not quite done. But guys, there's a lot of white down here and in here for a nice correction before it even we can make an assessment on what's going to happen here. So I think probably I would not go long on this now, but if you are long, I'd stay long. All right, anticipate a pullback at some point. Probably if we draw some fibs in here on this, I'm going to use this chart because I can get a pretty accurate price structure there. Probably anywhere from 484 to 461. So pretty significant pullback, and that we can ratchet even up a little bit more if it makes another high before it pulls back. But notice we have bearish divergence, creating inside this wave 3. So basically, too late to buy now, but if you're in it, go ahead and trail your stops up. I think I would probably, at this particular point, I would probably look to get out if it goes below like this level here. Let me look at my price situation here. So that'd be 511. Let's say 511.25. I think I would exit. Okay, if it was me, and maybe plan to get back in. But what I'm concerned about here is this could be a 3, this could be A, B, C, or even we could get one more high and complete with 3 and then go into a major correction. So any one of those scenarios is possible, but I would protect my downside and if I have a lot of profit in that. All right, so that is that one, and I think I lost that. Okay, there we are. SMCI. Okay, SMCI. Now we've looked at this one before, and we were in this one and basically got out because it was near this top here. All right, so the only position you should have in SMCI is a short position, and it's too late to go short. All right, if you were a scalper, you may have a short here based on this very short time frame here, but other than that, you definitely don't want to be long, and your short position should have been initiated a while ago, back in August, early August. All right, so that's that. KR. All right, so KR, again, we got a red PTF over here. So we were kind of moving at this particular point down. Now, remember that stock I told you earlier, I think it was your NOC. I can't remember exactly. I think it was NOC. That was the first one we looked at. Here, you know, we're kind of in this territory here. So if you were looking at NOC, let me just slide this over. It's kind of like right there. So yeah, it could make another high, but look, it could always do this too. When there's a lot of white down there, you got to be careful. All right, so that was the ending of a 3, a correction here. We still got a red PTF, so no long there as well. All right, thank you, Lowell. Good. All right, and Stu, back at you here. All right, Stu owns these. Let me see. Boy, that's a long one there, Stu. LSXMK. Let's let that bad boy load. All right. Okay, so Stu, you're long, and let me just check here. Hopefully you've been long for a while. So this was a move off a potential bottom here. So I like the long position here. I think you did a good job that way. You had a pullback, and a pyramid's been hit here. You know, here's your pullback, and look at that bottom. It held. All right, in terms of price action, that's really good. But now it's even better because it took out this high. So that is pretty good. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get a pullback. You got a lot of white down here and a lot of white down here. But that should be the normal price action now that we see in an uptrend, plus you have a green PTF. So I'm liking that. Next thing let's see is where a possible more significant, oh boy, look at that beautiful move down, due for a prime move up. I would probably stay with this. All right, now your only problem you're going to have is if this is not a new trend and just a retracement in a downtrend that's still going down. Doesn't appear to be. It is a possibility. So you need to have that stop at the bottom here. All right, so I'm kind of liking that. I'm going to put this one down, and this one's $23.56. I'll put this one down as a good one. I think just make sure you have your stop low enough. And the stop low enough is not, the risk to reward is really good here. Because if this is a new trend, this is going to do awesome because your risk to reward is so good in your favor. So that one is okay. Just have your stop in case that downtrend is not over. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so you're in these already. All right, not enough history on the long-term chart on the right for me to make a qualified assessment. But the only thing I can tell you here is that we have a green owl, which is a good sign. I just don't know if this is going to be the development of a new trend or if we're going to waffle here for a while before it goes. You got a lot of white after this move up here and here. You got a gap here. Gaps occur usually 3 times in a trend if they occur in the trend. Usually the beginning, the middle, and the end. You don't always see gaps though. But, and they have a tendency to get filled, all right? So you got to be careful about that. Usually the first gap does not really get filled if it's above a channel, and it looks like it is. So that's a good sign there, all right? But a little bit of a correction here, and because this is not enough history here, that doesn't help me. There's not a lot of history here. I don't know where you got in. I think if I got in early on this, I would probably have my stop on this pyramid here. get out, see if it fills the gap, wait for strength to come back in. And then if, we rally again, then that may be a sign that we're on our way back up. Yellow PTFs across the board, so those aren't helping me as they are neutral right now. All right, so hopefully that helped you, Stu, on that one. And let's take a look at PayPal. All right, on PayPal here, we've had that nice move. I think we liked that one before. So we're kind of, in a good situation there. I think we're due for a pullback. We got a red PTF on the 60-minute chart and a lot of white under there for an area for some price action to pull back. Our target's 145 to 204. So I like it for a long-term trade. I think short-term, if you're patient on this, you may get a pullback, and let me just see kind of where that could be. Probably around the 68 to 64 mark, all right, is a pullback. If you don't care about that and you just want to get in to hold it, because the chances of doubling your money here, if you're going to hold this for a while, and that means years, is pretty good here, okay? So if you don't mind holding it for years, you can put that in there and put your stop, as far down as 55. If you're an active trader, that's probably too far to have your stop. So wait for the pullback. Okay. So I'm going to put PayPal down as a good one, but only if you're in it for the long term. Okay. So let's just go ahead and make that distinction. All right. All right. Gene says, thanks everyone for the likes. Yes, we do appreciate that. All right. Let's go to Jim Blue. Jim Blue, my day trading buddy. How you doing, Jim? All right, let's take a look here at COWZ. So he's saying value here. I think it would help if I type in the right stock. I think what that means is that you're looking at it for a possible long position and you see the value in it. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's see here. It's too late to go long, all right? If you're in it already, I would hold it, and I put my stop under this area here at 53.02, okay? A little bit of white down here, so we could pull back 50% before it goes, or we could get an immediate push back to the upside. So I don't get out, all right? I'm not gonna recommend it because it's too far along already, but in any case here, if you're in it, I would try to stay in it until this turns yellow over here, and then I'd ratchet my stop probably right up under here, if not closer, okay, in anticipation of a significant pullback at some point. All right, good old gold. All right, so here we are with gold. Gold is making new highs. We've still got a green PTF on the 60-minute, so it's not done yet. It has outperformed Bitcoin recently, that's for sure. All right. So your stop probably can be right at this pyramid here. And that would be a low if you're long-term 211.53 roughly, 211.53. So 211.53. If you are a shorter term trader, you can put your stop right under this pyramid a little higher at 227.04. Okay, so don't get out. I'd hold it. Any pullback should be brief. The next time it makes a new high, if the PTFs in the center are all yellow, then you got enough white under here for a significant pullback. So at that particular point, if you're actively trading this, you can get out because you can always get back in. All right, if you own gold at home, I would just make sure you lock it up real good. Okay. All right, let's take a look at SP. All right, YV. All right, let's see how it's going on with that bad boy. All right, so again, not surprisingly, as the market's been making new highs, right? So there you had NVIDIA came out, all right, and sales were better than a lot of people were fearing. Okay, they were fearing that sales weren't going to be good and the market was going to implode, but that did not happen. All right, so, and it's very normal at times for stocks, even if they have good announcements, to pull back temporarily. People sell the news, so to speak. But in any case, everything looks good, all right, right now. Now we have yellow PTFs across the board here and a lot of white under there. So eventually this party will end. I'd probably have my stock my stop. Right under, if I want to give it a little more room, right under 48.59, so about 4 points. If I want to be a little bit more tighter on the stop right now, probably 49.29. All right, and then if we get a new pyramid form after that, even move it up a little bit. All depends if you're an active trader or more of a long-termer. All right, thank you. All right, got quite a few to run through here. All right, you got GBTC. Frank, how are you? All right, so Frank is short, and he's doing this from a short-term stance. And yes, you have a red PTF now on the 60-minute. Now, it looks to me like, the interesting thing about Bitcoin is this is a 3. You can't mistake that. The question is the correction over? We had, and this is Elliott Wave here. You had an A, B, C. This makes sense for a perfect bottom and then a spring off that bottom, right? So that makes sense. Really good sense. The problem is you got a red here. So we're coming down a little bit more, and we're going to test to see if that bottom holds. I believe on BTC USD, we've got a red PTF on the actual daily chart, and that's indicating that that bottom will be taken out. Now, this indicator is right 75% of the time, so not all the time. So maybe that's one of the 25% times it's not. Now, in terms of price action, all right, this makes perfectly good sense for a bottom, and you should go long on this. So no question about that. I would hold off until this indicator turns yellow or is wrong. So you can't go, I'm not going to recommend it because of that situation. So we've got to see how this is going to play out. And literally it could go either way, but the indicators are indicating the bottom is not in on this correction yet. Because of that, I wait. And I'm hoping that those indicators are wrong, because then we get up to that top sooner rather than later. The top on this now, if this current bottom is around 72 to 92, so we ratcheted down. It was over 100 before, but now it's at 92 for a high. So the further it comes back, the lower the next bull target becomes. So let's hope this bottom holds, so you can get some more highs, especially if you bought back in the spring. All right, thank you there, Frank, on that. Short, yes. And we'll see if we test the bottom, but I don't know where you got short, but I would look at this as a short-term trade, not recommended for everybody, because you'd have to watch this one pretty closely. But when this turns yellow here, all right, you can exit, but I would trail your stops down, maybe lock in some, move your stop at least to this pyramid here. If you get a big downdraft, move it to break even. All right. Let's see what we got. And yes, good to see you here, Frank. Okay, let's see. Lowell, yes, happy Friday to you too, Lowell. All right. All right. So, Frank just said, glad you can see me. I can't see you. Hopefully everybody else can. It has to do probably with something. You're maybe hiding one of the screens behind another screen and you can't see my display. So you can always watch the recording on that. All right, let's see what Gene has to say. A like. All right. Yes, LSXMK. It's a tough one to say 5 times, right? Is a winner. All right, from Stuart. Yep. All right, Eleanor. How are you, Eleanor? Okay, so CAVA, and you are long. Thank you for telling me that. That's great. All right, so let's see. All right, so up and away this baby's going. Not a lot of history on this one either, but you can certainly see a clear trend on this. I'm going to ratchet up now the pullback area. Okay, so we made more highs since we looked at this. We got a little bit of a pullback. We may have a top here. Okay, we got a red PTF over here. Okay, let me bring price action back. All right. So we've got that. We've got a green PTF here. So I think you can hold this. We've got green PTFs on all 3 time frames. I don't know if you can see it on the far right, but you got a green one there. Just look at the arrow, color of the arrows. And you're in a big move up. I would say on the next high, start taking profits if you haven't already, okay? We could come down, but I don't think so quite yet, because basically read from left to right. The short-term chart's going to happen first. That's this one. Well, let's put 1. And then this one happens second. That's 2. And then this happens third, 3. All right. So basically, we should recover here. We probably getting close to filling that gap here. I would think at some point here, we'll probably turn and make another high. And then at that point, you want to be really careful, because that's going to be the top of a wave 3. And then you're going to get a significant pullback. So I'll probably stay with it. All right. Until we get break 130 and then ratchet those stops. I'm not going to recommend it, because, at this particular point, it would be considered a short-term trade if you were just entering right now. All right, TSM, let's take a look at that one. And not everybody has access to short-term data, so that's kind of why I'm careful on that. All right, again, long-term chart, good, but we're starting to see some waning on the momentum in, and we've seen it because we've seen our first break. Now, what's interesting to this, let me just take a look here. All right, so again, price action. This was any type of a impulsive wave 3. You've got to perfectly move down into the target, and now moving off. So I like that. No more red PTFs. There is an A, B, C present here clearly, not so clear over here. Okay. So either the correction's over, and if that's the case, you can be aggressive and go long, especially if this pyramid is hit here. But otherwise, the outcome that would stop you out if this was a broad-based ABC, all right, that type of thing. I would take this trade, okay? Let's just take a look and see what the potential target is on this one. So if you're in it, and I know you are, stay with it. But let's see if it's any good for the rest of us here as a potential. All right, so if that pyramid gets hit, all right, you've got a good risk to reward. My only problem with that is you got a lot of white for a pullback. You really haven't had that much of a pullback. You might not get it, but that would qualify. Do not go in until you get above the recent high, and then put your stop under here, and your risk reward would be 2 to 1. I'm going to put that in there. There's no perfect setup. And of course, what could happen is the market could move down, the bottom could hold, you get stopped out, and then it moves back up. Welcome to trading. Okay. But that is a good long trade, I think. All right. It's just the risk to reward that is tight. Okay. So I'm going to recommend TSM as a swing trade. Okay. So I'm liking that. And PayPal, yep, is a winner. Frank, you hit the like button. We appreciate that, buddy. All right. Oh, Gene, you said the same thing. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Frank is making a joke. Don't joke about that, Frank. Okay. Hit that like button for us. All right. Lowell. Let's take a look for Lowell here again. LHX. All right. Sue. Long, short. Okay, so you're looking at this thing. Well, red PTF, but the market's been climbing against it, all right, for quite some time. I don't see a short here, okay? I know the PTF's red, but the price action's saying different. So no short here, okay? Let's take a look at FFIV. All right, green PTF across the board, more highs likely. But we're already in a significant uptrend. So the PTFs are saying that this previous high has a chance of being, penetrated again. All right. And once it does, they should turn yellow, and that could be a top. All right. So you got to be a little careful here. We've got a pretty significant move up. Let's take a look and see if we can draw fibs. Boy, that's a tough one. No. All right. A lot of white down here, so I'm not going to recommend this one as a new one. And I don't think I would go long here unless I was a scalper trying to get a quick trade off this. But if we take out this high here and we get one of these type of price bars, then we could be, on its way down. All right. So you got to be careful about that one. All right. Let's take a look at your next one, ROK. All right. So ROK here is red, green PTF. So reading from left to right, we should go down, but the PTF that's red here is not that much profit. It's down to $266 on a $260 stock. I would wait for this to come down, and then you may have an opportunity to take it back up. So no trade on this yet. I would wait it out, okay? All right, Gene TSM is a winner. Yes, okay. All right, so I think we're coming to the end of the session here. If you have any last couple, let me look. Otherwise, I'm going to switch it over and wrap it up here. All right, V for Frank here. All right, looking long. Let's see what we got. Not bad here. Not bad. All right, let's see if we have one green PTF in the long term. That's a good sign. So what we can do when we see that is let's draw these babies in here. You haven't quite hit the retracement area here, but you have hit the low probability retracement here. So 15% of the time markets retrace here, 70 they hit here, 15 they go a little further as long as they don't get into the territory of wave 1. That could be a wave 4. So we're looking at this, okay? All right, so here's what I do. When things aren't so clear and when they don't hit the high probability target zone, but you get a really significant bounce off that, I'll do my trade size, and whatever it is, I'll half it, okay, and go in and then put my stop really, really low. So when I do my initial trade size, all right, I put it under here, which means it's going to be low. But if it pulls back, then I'm going to add to it like a Banshee, okay, and take it back up. That's the idea. Now, if you want to just put your stop here, go in with a full position here and get out and then replay it, again, you can do that. Everybody does it a little bit differently. Okay, so the other thing, too, is you had this peak here. I'm just going to enlarge this so you can see it better. I know sometimes it's hard to see stuff, but the ideal trade would have been back here at this point here, right on this pyramid. Pyramid did a great job. So you're a little extended here. Probably going to get a pullback to around 2, probably going to pull back to the top of the pyramid, and then it should go again. So, I guess I would go in with a little now, all right, in case the pullback is not as significant as I anticipate, where it goes higher and then pulls back, and then you'd be getting in almost where you are now. So I would go in with a little now. I'm not going to recommend this one yet. Trying to think of if I need to do that. Let me just... Only because we didn't hit the high probability area, so it's a little bit more of a risky trade. But let's do this. Let's just see where the potential target is here based on the current pullback. Well, you got a great risk to reward there. So I'm going to put it down and leave that as a discretionary decision for you guys. But basically, this is a wave 5 trade that could be in progress right now. And if you're going to take this, you got to put your stop way at the bottom here, okay? If not under here, and do what I told you, go in with a small trade size and add to it. So use your risk to reward calculator that we have and calculate based on the various stop points, and that will give you the proper trade size, okay? All right, Lowell, we're gonna wrap it up with you, okay? Yeah, something like that, Frank, sounds good. All right, FHN for Lowell here. Okay. All right, this is gonna be the last one. Then I'm gonna wrap it up, and I'll go into just some general. We'll review the winners for the day and things like that. Okay, what did I do here? I typed it in wrong. All right, FHN. There we go. All right, so the banks. All right, so red PTF, interesting, on the long-term chart. So that means that this is a correction, the bottom's not in, that we're coming back down. So that's kind of interesting. And we've been going up since 2023, since mid-2023, it looks like April. So that's kind of interesting, right? And it has come up to the retracement area. Let's just draw that in. So you see you're sitting right in that retracement area. And the PTF says after this retracement, which is bullish, ends, we should go bearish. And so let's just take a look at that. And it looks like it's not done going up because this is green. So I wouldn't do anything with this, but let's put this on a watch list for a fun short trade. Okay, but not yet, because you still have a green PTF and the price action on the 60-minute chart is showing a swing up. And actually you're getting a little bit, you're kind of range bound here on the daily. So I wouldn't do anything with this yet, but if you want to bring it back next week, please do. Okay. All right. Let me go over, I guess I got to go back to here. All right. So now I'm going to bore you with the books. Okay. We're putting this at the end. So if you want to leave now, feel free to, but give us a like before you do. All right, so we got books available. I'll put the links up for the books below. This is my commercial. The Traders Money Management and Money Management for Traders. Great book on risk control. If you want to learn how to use price action and so forth for risk control, great books. The Art of Trading, my new book on the far right, is completed. Will be out soon. All right, very happy with this book. It's basically a mind dump over my last 30 years of trading into a book. And it's 500 pages. I could have made it like 1,000, but they wanted to cut me at 500. So there we have it. All right. Elliott Wave Technique Simplified is a book out by McGraw-Hill that I wrote. And The Art of Trading is going to be published by Wiley. So both major publishers. So you'll be able to get those anywhere. All right. Let me see what else I need to go over here. Let's take a look at software. The software that you saw on the charts is available. If you're interested, just go to our website, or I'll put a link in the recording below by tonight. All right, you can check it out on your own. We have subscriptions, so you don't have to buy them outright. They're really expensive if you buy them outright, but the subscription price is really reasonable. We're going to break the subscriptions up into two, one for just charting software and one for scanners. So the idea, the risk control software is not that expensive, so we're not going to have a subscription on that. But the scanners require NinjaTrader, TradeStation, or multi-chart, so not everybody uses that platform. So we needed to split the subscriptions up into two different kinds. The charting software works on eSignal, NinjaTrader, TradeStation, multi-charts, MT4, MT5. And we'll probably add a few more platforms in the coming year or two. So that's what we're dealing with. First, NinjaTrader, you can get it free, okay? So you don't have to buy that. So if you don't have any of our compatible platforms, but you still want to use the software, you can get Ninja, and that's what I use today, okay? And it's a free platform. All right, what else can I tell you? Anyway, check it out, but the subscription makes it really affordable, a couple $100 a month, roughly. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Nope, don't want to delete that. Let's keep going here. Oh, okay. Now I got to do another situation on what I wanted to go over here for Apex funding. Now, if you're into day trading, not everybody is, but if you are, all right, Apex Trader Funding is of the firm we use and recommend for that. Basically, you're trading their money, not your own. So it takes a lot of pressure off you, but it has just enough pressure because you got to get qualified. So it's really great. Okay, I absolutely love it. All right, they do payouts. A lot of the prop firms don't. They do have strict rules, but that makes you a better trader. So I don't mind that at all. I think it's great. So I recommend it. And I'm putting my link and code in there where you can save like 80% off their subscription fees. And so for example, it's going to roughly run you around $40, $40 to $50, depending on the size of the subscription you take. But the idea behind that is that you get 80% off and you get free data. Okay, so you get free futures data. So this is a great way to get involved in day trading. Day trading is not easy. All right, there's basically two ways you do it. You can trend trade, intraday trend trades, trade a lot less, stops are further away, less stress, so to speak. Or you can learn the art of scalping using price action. Okay, So either one of those is a great way to go. It's a great journey. You'll learn a lot about trading. And even if you're a trend trader, you should learn price action, okay, because it will help you be a better trader. So anyway, I recommend that. You can see the payouts that they're actually doing. I find it to be a very, very good firm, and I enjoy, I have many accounts with them. All right, so that's my deal on that. And I think the next one is the generic, give us a like. Okay, so that's it for today. All right, so we'll see you back here next week. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, give us a like, okay? That's what that's all about. All right, so have a great weekend as we go into Labor Day. Markets closed on Monday, but we will be here next Friday. So have a great one, everybody. For fun, I'll just put up some of the let's put up some of the short-term day trading accounts here, and that way you can follow along here. Let me get rid of that, and we'll do that over here. And you can, let's do it for the E-mini. What do you think? Either the, NASDAQ is good. All right, so basically, as a trend trader, you want to be short here, even though we're getting a little bit of a pullback. But that's the 5-minute time frame on the right, the 1 minute here, and the 15-second here. So it all depends on whether you're a scalper or more of a trend trader on what you're going to be doing. I think we're getting bullish divergence, so I think we're getting a correction in the downtrend right now. All right, so that is it. All right, have a great one, everybody. See you next week. I'll put a little music on, and then I'm going to close the room.